Hi, I'm KS Garner, and you're listening to the Solo Nerdbird podcast. Today, I'll be speaking with musical artist Carly Gray, here to discuss her upcoming single Bumper Sticker with Chrome City Records. Welcome, Carly.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us today. But outside my introduction, who was Carly Gray in her own words?
Carly Gray, I really just go with like an alt pop punk vibe. I'm a musician. I just started playing guitar a little over a year ago too. Just really just been my passion. Working on my first debut single and really just trying to hit the ground running with all that.
Hmm. And again, the single is called Bumper Sticker. So, what is the song about?
Yeah, so the way it came about, if you are in the Baltimore area, you might be familiar with a popular bumper sticker that people have. It says Baltimore dot dot dot. Actually, I like it.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. So it's like this joke in Baltimore where it's like, even though people, talk about Baltimore in a negative light, the people who live here actually, really do like it. And it's a really great place. I moved here 3 years ago now. So September 2021. Yeah, it's been a while. It doesn't feel like it at all. So I just really came to love this area, and it's where I discovered like the local music scene here, and I really felt like these are my people. So I came from rural Carroll County, and it was a stark difference. So
Oh, yeah.
it's really about that kind of contrast there.
Hmm. I've lived here my whole life. I mean, I went to school in Frostburg, but born and raised in Baltimore, and even I was surprised at how big of the music scene or just like the art scene it is that we have here. I mean, outside of The Wire and then like John um, Waters, sorry. Um, I really didn't know like the in between stuff, you know. So that's really cool that I've been learning for like the last like 6 years, really, just going to all kinds of different places. And like for Carroll County, I used to have to pick up. I used to be like a personal driver for my pretty much for my cousin to pick up her son from Carroll County and then bring
Hmm.
him back to Baltimore. And it was just like a long stretch of road of like nothing
Right.
for a long time. And like just to get up there and to come back, it really is a stark difference. But I mean, how do you like it? I mean, you like it, but how do you like it?
Yeah, I definitely am a city person. I found that out. And I like think about like back in high school. Like I went to South Carroll High School, and it's definitely a different demographic there. And I just never felt like I fit in. Like I know it's such a cliche, but I was always like the outsider, and something just didn't feel right. And I know it sounds like so cheesy, but it's like when I moved here, I like found like my people. I'm like, oh, this is where I belong. I got really heavy in the like music scene, and just like how welcoming everybody is, like not intimidating at all. Like really just yeah, everybody here just seems like so accepting, and it just like warms my heart. I'm like, I want to be part of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I felt the same way when I got into the theater scene. I feel like everybody is just as nervous as you are.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of how you have to look at it. But how was it working with Mark Lotus, who helped produce the track, and the other artists? And how did you know that they were the right people to work with?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like meeting Mark, like honestly, it was very like coincidental. So I interviewed with Mark to be an actress like in a music video. So of course, like when we're interviewing and he's asking like, like what I like music wise and all that. And of course, like I go on a tangent as I usually do with music. And he's like hearing all these things about me, and he's like thinking inside, he's like, oh, I kind of want this girl on the record label. So we got to talking, and one thing led to another. And yeah, then I joined Chrome City Records, and meeting the other girls on the record too. I didn't expect to like, it really does feel like a community. and we're like a little like tight knit like family, and all of our music styles are different, which I like. Like it doesn't never feels like we're competing or like trying to be better than one another. It is totally like we're on the same playing field and we're helping each other. Like yesterday, actually, we went to Seven Drum City in DC for rehearsal, and Dominica, so she recently joined the label. She was helping like with pitch correction and little things with that for bumper sticker to really iron out the details. And I just love how like we're able to do that with each other and just like, a friendly atmosphere.
That's cool. So,
Yeah.
can you walk us through your creative process for bumper sticker? I guess from concept to completion, and how did you know that this was the right single to be the first one to put out officially as a musical artist?
Yeah, so coming from somebody who literally started this whole process a year and a half ago, with really no context, just kind of winging it, I always tell people, I'm like, your first song that you come up with that you think is gonna be your first debut, it will not. You're gonna end up scrapping it. So just go with it. Go with it, and you can always table it and come back to it. But the second one, like that's where I feel like that's when things start happening. My creative process, as you see with bumper sticker, um, I get all my inspiration when I'm driving, which is so inconvenient because then I'm like, "Oh, I have to get up my voice memo app in my phone so I can like record it and also pay attention to driving." But yeah, like I saw the bumper sticker and I just like started like humming a tune in my head and getting a melody down. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let's run with this." Go home, get my guitar, kinda, play around some chords and different strumming patterns, and then that's usually what kickstarts it off, and I'm able to run with it through there.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of my ideas as well driving to and from work. So I used to work downtown, and but I used to work like really early in the morning, so it was just me
Mhm.
out there on the road. And downtown is nice when no one's there, when there's no
Yeah.
traffic.
Right.
So I really got to admire a lot of the scenery and a lot of the landscape of it. And then just ideas will come into my head. It's like, oh, this would be cool for a scene if this was there, or if that was there, or if this happened
Yeah.
in this location. So I definitely can relate to having, getting ideas when you're driving, which is again super inconvenient because you can't really do anything while you're doing
Right.
that. Um, Also like in the shower and then like walking my dog, which is can also be a bit inconvenient because she's pulling and I'm trying to pull her back, but
Right.
she doesn't care. um, but like you mentioned, that you play guitar, and I remember reading that you're also, well, you mentioned that you are also an actress and you're into fashion and
Mhm.
whatnot. So how has exploring your musical side impacted these other facets of your artistry? Um, have they always worked cohesively, one flowing into the other, or do you have to like compartmentalize them in order to keep track of everything?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, it's so funny because I didn't even know there was a musical side of me. I always knew I liked music, but like learning an instrument as an adult seemed way too daunting, and like singing, I didn't even know. I just knew I was kind of good at karaoke and I knew how to get a crowd going. But I actually did theater. I was really big into theater when I was younger, and I've always wanted to go back to it. But unfortunately, it's just like so much harder like getting into acting as an adult. Life gets in the way, and
Mhm.
when you're in school, you just have those opportunities that are right there, like after school and whatnot. So I always knew like that's where my passion was. That's what I wanted to get back to. And I love musical theater.
Mhm.
Big Broadway fan. And then so Green Day is one of my really big inspirations, and I like the rock opera-ness of Green Day and like American Idiot and like MCR, for example. I like theatrics
Mhm.
in like punk music, and that's really what I kind of lean into. So yeah, like acting and singing it has a lot to do with each other, and I didn't even like put two and two together,
Mhm,
but you need the emotional expression because it the singing sounds so much different if you're just singing like very like straight faced and robotic as opposed to like using your hands, moving around, moving your face in different ways. So definitely has something to do with each other.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Um, have you tried or been to a show for the Rock Opera Society?
No. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was see, I'm like learning about all these new clubs in this area and there's like the Baltimore Horror Club that I've just recently learned about. I'm like, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that's so cool."
Yeah, so the Baltimore Rock Opera Society, which is actually the first play that I've ever performed in, um,
Yeah.
a couple of years back. It was like maybe 2 years back. Time gets away from me. I don't remember. But yeah, they do. I think two shows a year. They're about to do an improv show in like all of October. Um, and then I think they'll start up during their spring show, probably after the new year. But yeah, Baltimore Rock Opera Society, I think they just redid their whole like rehearsal spaces on Greenmount Street. I don't know if
Okay,
Greenmount
yeah.
Ave, yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know. But yeah, if you ever wanted to maybe audition or see a show, they
Oh my
sometimes
gosh,
they have
yes.
stuff in there, and I think they may have kind of like a residency at a church
Mm.
somewhere. I forgot the name of the church, but yeah, I mean, since you're into stuff like that and the whole theatrics of it, I would recommend the Baltimore Rock Opera Society. Maybe auditioning at some point if you want to, or just seeing a show.
Oh yeah, thanks for telling me.
No problem. But is there anything else that you wanted to share about Bumper Sticker? Have any dates or time frames been discussed about, like when and where you'll be performing the single, if you can discuss that?
Yeah, so we are currently working on different instrument parts in the studio. We have one more rehearsal before we're ready to do vocals. So looking for like end of September, early October, hopefully. We can finally release that. And then there's gonna be an accompanying music video, which I'm also super excited about because I just find obviously the acting part and then the music part, coming together and being able to have my hands in that. That's gonna be super exciting. So hopefully, I this winter we can have that out. And I'm also working on I have two songs pretty much like completed that's in the pipeline. So I'm never trying to be like stagnant because if you put like all your energy in one song, you'll get sick of it. So I'm always like kind of working on multiple songs like at once, just
Mhm.
making sure I, you know, share the wealth there. So I'm super excited.
Okay, well, so lastly, with everything that we've discussed in regards to your artistry and being multifaceted, um, how do you take care of yourself mentally at, I guess, at the end of each project or each song, or maybe even during the process of everything?
I love that you asked this because I'm in grad school to become a therapist.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, exactly. I'm actually going to start seeing my first clients for my practicum in the next 2 weeks here. So definitely gets talked about a lot in grad school, which I love is like making sure, self-care is so important because we can't help other people until we, make sure we help ourselves first.
Uh-huh.
I'm really big about like mind body movement. So I like to make sure like I'm going to like the gym. I like weightlifting and running to kind of get my energy out and get endorphins going. I'm really my dog, my Australian Shepherd Panda. I like to take her to Bark Social if you've ever
Yeah.
been there. Yeah, and then just taking her on walks too. She's my ride or die. Yeah, and I have like other creative outlets as well. And it's really just making sure like it's not a job. Like this music for me, like this is a hobby and it's something like I take really seriously, but I'm also having fun with it. And once it stops being fun, like that just defeats the whole purpose. So I just make sure I'm not burning myself out, and I'm making sure that it is process and it doesn't have to, I've been working on bumper sticker for, I think the idea came last summer, honestly, when it sprouted in my head. So it's okay if it takes longer than you expect because you want it to come out, the best that it can be.
Hmm. Yeah, I know the feeling. I'm working on a project now that I guess I've been working on for like I think it's like maybe 4 years now. Oh Lord. So I've written two books and I'm working on a third
Oh,
one,
okay.
and it's just not happening. Like I'll write a chapter and then I
Mhm.
won't open it back up again for like maybe 3 months,
Yeah.
and it I try not to put too much pressure on myself to get it done. I mean, it lives in my head constantly. I got a pin board for it and everything, and like I said, driving around, I get ideas here and there. It's just really just flushing it out, and then I have this with the podcast, and it started becoming a chore because, like I told Mark, people weren't showing
Hmm.
up like they were supposed to. So for me, I'm trying to be okay with stepping back if I
Hmm.
have to, and kind of reevaluate and just move things around if I have to. Or if I have to push pause for I stopped doing this maybe about 6 months or so, and I'm just getting back
Yeah.
into it. And kind of like rediscovering myself and rediscovering, writing or interviewing people. This has been refreshing for me,
Yeah.
in a way to kind of get back into it. So I really appreciate you and Mark for reaching out. So
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Mark's the best. He has the right connections. He knows the coolest people. So I'm like, I trust you if you say, this person's gonna be great to work with. I'm like, I definitely believe you.
all right, well, thank you again to the musical artist Carly Gray for joining us here today to discuss her upcoming single Bumper Sticker with Chrome City Records. All of Carly's socials will be listed in this episode's details alongside Chrome City Records for those interested in updates about Carly's and/or other artists connected to the label. Again, I'm KS Garner, and you have been listening to the Solo Nerdbird podcast. Thank you.